from the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Thursday, July the 7th, 2022. No practice today. Ticats still in the bye, so let's get right into it with my guest. It is Andy Fantuz, Ticats analyst on the Ticats Audio Network. And Andy, 0-4 at the bye week. If you were still playing, what would you be doing right now? Day 4 of your first bye week. Put us in the mindset of player Andy.
If it was me, I mean, I'd for sure step away from the facility and the team and spend some time alone reflecting, I guess. But I would also be working on my body, but maybe in more private settings. So I would probably, just try to fix any injuries, rehab any injuries, make sure I get some tempo running in, just clean out the system and sort of break it down, get any kinks out and kind of come back refreshed.
Did your perspective on bye weeks change the longer your career went on? Like I assume that earlier in your career, you maybe felt like you could bounce back a little better. And then near the end, you maybe needed more time. How did your perspective of bye weeks change as a player from the beginning towards the end of your career? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's definitely the way it went. And especially because when I was early in my career, I was living, away from home, my family, my girlfriend at the time, my wife. So if I had a bye week when I was playing in Saskatchewan, I would probably be flying back to Ontario and spending the week here. So I don't know how many guys are flying away this week, but I did that a lot more early in my career or even planning some fun things, some activities to do whether it's with the team or with family and friends, but away from football. And then later in my career, I think it was more of rest and recuperate, still spend time with your family, but now they were local for me. So, I didn't have to worry about that travel and
that's 2 days of your bye week right there. I mean, like that's pretty huge. That's traveling. That's 2 days. We mentioned this with Luke because I noticed on Instagram that Dane was out golfing with 10 teammates or so. A bunch of them had it on their Instagram. And how important are those moments where maybe football is discussed and maybe, when it is discussed, it's, guys, let's just focus on the golf. But like, how important are those moments away from the facility with guys across the offense and the defense and special teams? Like, what do those moments mean?
Well, I think it's very important because the more you get to know somebody, the more you commit to somebody, the more energy you invest into that relationship, the more you care about them, the more loyal you are, the more, cohesiveness you have. So you can call it like gelling or a culture, but really it's just if you get to know somebody, about their family, about what they care about, what they don't care about, and you serve them in a sense, and you look out for their interests more than your own, then that's when real friendships come, real relationships, and real connection, and then that inevitably will translate onto the field. So I'm happy to hear those guys are getting together and doing that, golfing, whatever it is. I mean, I always love trying to organize things like that outside of the facility, whether it be card games or bowling or paintball or golfing or movies, just anything. Just to, get to know somebody on a different level than a practice day.
All right, let's get into the game on Friday night. Again, the Ticats are dealing with some familiar issues going back the last couple of seasons, holding on to a lead in the fourth quarter, untimely turnovers. Let's be glass half full. Let's be a little optimistic. What did you see on Friday night that makes you think this is not an 0-4 football team?
Well, I mean, the team, they're close, right? And they have made improvements in different areas throughout the 4 games. I think special teams is something that continues to produce at a pretty high level. So that's hopefully for that to continue or even improve. Offensively, there's lots of room for improvement. The running game, the short passes. It seems like we get the Ticats get a couple shots downfield and are not bad at taking advantage of those, but just that consistency and putting together first downs. And then defensively, I think they're solid. I do. I think they're not an 0-4 defensive team. They can shut down the run, and whenever you can do that, make a team one-dimensional, you're going to have success, because teams are going to, they can dink and dunk down the field, but eventually they're going to get tired of that and want to take some shots. And I think the one thing the defense needs to improve on is producing a few more turnovers one way or another.
Yeah. And mentioning turnovers, the Ticats have had horrible luck when it comes to turnovers. And maybe it's not luck. Maybe there are some footballs that need to be caught. Maybe there's some better passes that need to be thrown. But as a former receiver, when you see all these balls being tipped and being intercepted, I mean, what goes through your mind watching that?
It's painful. It's certainly painful. And I'm not going to pretend like it's easy. If you're running full speed one way, and there's lots of factors, whether the ball's not quite on target, whether there's distractions, tips. But whenever you get a chance to touch the ball as a receiver, you want to pull it in. And if you don't pull it in and it bounces up in the air and eventually gets intercepted, it's like double banger against you, double negative. So it's crazy how many of those have happened this year already. But between those and the fumbles, I mean, the fumbles are something like a technical issue that can be cleaned up pretty, not easily, but objectively, I guess.
So are you spending a little more time with the jug machine? Are you practicing tip drill? I mean, how do you work through those plays? Like if you're in a funk, if you're mentally just like, I can't get my hands on these balls, how do you get out of it?
Yeah, I think the issue for receivers can be, in my experience anyway, can be that your mind can be your biggest enemy. And I had advice told to me when I was a rookie a long time ago, or actually second year. Yo Murphy was an old vet. He said, just let your athleticism take over. And he taught me to at the last second when the ball's coming in, no matter what route you're doing, just attack the ball. And I know it sounds easy. I know, every receiver coach probably preaches this, but if you like waiting for the ball and you're getting in their mind that, oh, am I going to catch this? Am I not? Just attack it, trust your preparation. And so to answer your question, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be running, full speed at a quarterback, and without slowing down at all, without jumping, without trying to slow down, the time, just work on those catches, across fields, fast, like full speed, just practice. I never was a big jugs machine kind of person, but that can certainly work if you don't have someone who can throw you 50 balls. You can use the jug machine, and you can just run at it. And really, practice that full speed. I'm not a big static catching kind of believer.
So I've never played the position clearly, but is there a difference of having the ball thrown to you and catching the ball? And I feel like when you say attacking it, is that the going out and like the effort? Like, am I overthinking it when it comes to that receiver position, or am I underthinking it? Because clearly every receiver knows that you need to catch the football. You can't just have the football land in your hands.
Yeah. Well, you do need to catch it, but I think you want to save your legs in a sense. So for instance, if you're running a, slant route or something across the field, a dig route, some kind of you could just take like one step upfield and turn and run full speed. And after 3 or 4 steps, the ball should be there, and you can get some pretty good high quality reps doing that. So, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
yeah, just the idea of, actually making the effort to catch a football and getting those reps in, like you say. Cause I mean, I saw Dane had talked about it at, post game, said, he's never been 0-4. He's never had these breaks kind of go the way they've been going. And to that point, Dane apologized. He apologized to his teammates, to the media. I'm sure he said the same thing in the locker room. What does it mean to you to see a guy put it so much on his own shoulders, but also take that kind of responsibility?
Well, I think it's a sign of a good leader to always put it on yourself when things are going wrong, and compliment your teammates when things are going well. And that's what Coach Orlando preaches. And Dane lives it. And, he is the quarterback. A lot of the turnovers, the fumbles have been him. And I wouldn't say all the interceptions are his fault by any means, but at the end of the day, quarterback's responsible for taking care of the ball. And so it's kind of a weird situation with all the tips and bat downs, and you feel bad for him to put it all on his shoulders, but I think that's just what you need to do as a quarterback, and just everybody should be doing that regardless of their position.
How aware are the guys of the actual standings right now? Yes, they know they're 0-4, but do they also know that they're only one game back of the East, first place in the East? Like how does that affect them mentally?
I think that's the reality, and they're watching the games, and the other teams in the East are having some bad luck as well. So, it's a great thing about the CFL is it's a long season. Most of the teams make the playoffs, so you just got to put yourself in a position to make it, and then next step would be getting a home game or bye. So they're still definitely in the hunt, and I think that's like saving grace. If every other team was 4-0 in the East, it'd be a little more bleak at this point.
I know it's 10 days away, 9 days away, whatever it is, but Jeremiah Masoli is making his return to Tim Hortons Field the next time the Ticats hit the field. How much extra motivation do you think Soli's going to have walking into that building come July 16th?
Oh, he'll be ready to play. I mean, I'm not sure how sour the whole transaction was for him. I haven't spoken to him on it, but anytime you put you play for a team for so long, and then you end up making a switch, there's going to be some kind of extra pressure, adversity, excitement, nervousness when you're coming back to play them for the first time, and especially when it's in Hamilton. So I think he'll get some cheers. I think he'll get some boos. I think it'll be a little mix of everything, but he'll be ready to play. He's a pro. He's been doing this a long time.
Andy, always appreciate catching up with you. Thanks for doing this, buddy.
Thanks, Louie.
That is Andy Fantuz, Ticats Audio Network analyst, and of course, a longtime CFL receiver, including the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Speaking of former Hamilton Tiger Cats, speaking of alum, earlier this summer, we were down at the Ticats Alumni Golf Tournament, and we had a chance to catch up with a bunch of alumni who were there. And all this week, with the Ticats on the bye week, we're going back in the Ticats Audio Network vault to play some of those conversations we have not got to yet. And this is my conversation with Ralph Scholz, former Ticats offensive lineman. Here's what he had to say, and we started our conversation talking about his favorite memory as a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Favorite memory, obviously, was the second game of the two-game total point series in '86 that got us into the Grey Cup, the one we won, and it was just a phenomenal comeback, and I think most satisfying win.
What about that game sticks out the most to you?
Just the fact that we lost the first game, and then we were down in the first quarter. I think, it was a combined score. We were down like 36 points or something like that. And we ended up through a certain, turn of events, scoring going into the half. And from then on, I coach a lot of minor football and everything like that. And I always like to score going into the house, into the half, because it's a great momentum changer or momentum keeper. And I think that was just a phenomenal game. And the way that we had a bunch of the guys on our team through a couple of our starters were injured. I had to change positions. Pat Brady had to come in from long snapper and came in starting guard. Terry Laney came in as a DB. And so a lot of guys were, taking on, full-time responsibilities, and we just did it together as a team.
Class of 2021 inducted Mike Walker. He was pretty emotional when I talked to him about it. He had said it was one of those things that he didn't know what was going to come. What did it mean to you to see Walker get the call?
I think it's been a long time coming. I'm so happy for Walk. I always say that, I played against the best defensive lineman in the league every day in practice. He made us all better. I didn't ever play against anybody in the league that was as tough as Walk. And that was just in practice. I could just imagine him in a game. And he made so many more of those guys better and gave them opportunities on defense. And playing that open tackle it's kind of an unsung hero type of a job. But, when he has to be double teamed all the time, then that opens up things for other people.
Post-playing career, what did you get up to?
I got my degree in civil engineering from Cornell. So I ended up working for some consultants, and then I put in 15 years for the Niagara region as a roads engineer. And then the last 7 years I was at Niagara College as director of facilities. And so it was a great way to give back to the community in public service. And I really enjoyed my time both at the region and the Niagara College. Two great, community organizations that do a lot for the public in Niagara.
What's your favorite part about a day like today?
Day like today is seeing guys like Ben Zambiazzi, who I haven't seen for, probably since Grey Cup last year. And it's kind of an opening to the season, because a lot of us, that's where we get together is at the games and things like that. But it really is the camaraderie and seeing the fellas. And I think if you talk to any athlete in the world, they love the glory and the championships, but the most part that they miss when the game's over is the locker room and hanging out with the guys.
I see you guys are playing for a trophy though today, so there's a trophy up for grabs. Are you going to be?
I don't think I'll be in the. I mean, with the rest of my foursome, their backs are going to be pretty tired carrying me through it, but. We're all here for fun, and you know what? Everybody just keep their head down when you hear me yelling 4, because you never know where it's coming.
That is Ralph Scholz, as we got up with him at the Ticats Alumni Golf Tournament earlier this summer, as we go into the vault of earlier interviews that we have not had time for yet on the show this season, which we'll continue to do tomorrow, our final show of the bye week. Ticats return to practice next week, but we are back again tomorrow. That's all the time we have today. My thanks to Andy Fantuz for joining me, and my thanks to you as well, because we could not do the show without you. So thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us, and if you have comments or feedback, you can hit me up on Twitter at @LouieB_TV. From all of us here at the Ticats Audio Network, I'm Louie Butko, hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.